Hello everybody, and welcome back to the archive, where we once again return to Final Fantasy XIV. I'm here this time. Sorry, it's been a little bit since I last streamed, unfortunately. Last week I had a little bit of a hiccup with my monitor that prevented me from streaming. Of course, it wouldn't have been a big deal had I had one of my other monitors went, but it was the one I primarily play on, and all my settings and shit are attuned to it. So unfortunately, I could not stream much last week, and I do apologize for missing yesterday's scheduled stream. I worked until close, given the fact that I wasn't supposed to stream until 12:30, and unfortunately, I had a splitting headache when I got back. I pretty much went immediately to bed, so that's why I was not on yesterday. Tonight's going to be a bit of a weird one. It is 10 o'clock, and we have an alliance raid to complete. It is 10 o'clock. Almost 11. I have until about 2 o'clock in the morning we can play until, so we can play for a good 3 hours. I don't want to start Shadowbringers tonight. I would prefer to leave the start of Shadowbringers to a full-length stream, which I can do next week. I have a few days off, so that's fantastic. We'll be doing a little bit, we'll be starting Shadowbringers next week. So here's the plan. We're going to do the alliance raid until we hit 2 in the morning, or until we complete it. And we'll just go from there. My hope is that we'll be able to finish it tonight. And if you're wondering why I have to get so off at 2 exactly, I have to open tomorrow. I have to get to work. I have work at 4:30 in the morning, so I can't stay up for too late. But it's all good, though. It's all good. Anyway, let's get back to it. We finished the first one last stream, so now we've got 2 and 3 to do, and a bunch of stories. R-Wing, as always, thank you for the 100 bits. Your assistance is always appreciated. Okay, where did we leave off? Oh yeah, we saved the guy who was kidnapped by some alligator people, and something about long-lost lineage or whatever, and redeeming, like, trying to tell true history or whatever. We'll figure it out. Where in the world have you been? Did you not receive Alma's summons? Principal Lexentale's research into the Auracite may have finally borne fruit. We must hurry to the Prima Vista before they embark on some grand and perilous adventure without us. Let me in. Also, if you see me, like, swat at anything, I got a fly in the room that I've been trying to fucking kill for, like, 30 minutes. Just haven't had any luck. You know, one of my biggest letdowns, honestly, about the Shadowbringers raids that I've played so far is the lack of voice acting. Like, I get it for heaven's word, but I'm really surprised there isn't any voice acting in the 2 raids, Omega and this. Thank you for answering my summons. Master Garland was kind enough to send for an Archon from Charlayan, and I thought it only right that you be present to hear her findings. Cryo? It's that Archon from Charlayan. To be frank, summoning Mikoto was more Y'shtola's idea. I simply came along to see what light she could shed on this mystery. You are not who I was expecting. I was kind of expecting Cryo, but alright. I am Mikote of House Jinba, a Doman, though my years in Charlian have made me a stranger here. You must be the Warrior of Light, fabled liberator of men, slayer of false gods. I thought you'd be taller. I'm taller than you. That's the only thing that fucking matters. Fuck off. Jeez, man. Yeah, I guess for a person of many titles, you'd expect them to be a little bit more, you know, like huge muscle mass, sort of thing if you're fighting gods and warriors and taking down tyrants and shit. Nah, don't need any of that. Magic's all I need. Let us speak of the crystal. I'm like a full head taller than you are. Fuck off. The Otius, one of but many Orosite shards that aided noble Delita's rise to regent. My apologies. The Otius is no ordinary crystal, even discounting its obvious historical importance. This specimen is more than a simple manifestation of elementally aspected energies. It is, rather, an ethereal lodestone whose facilitation of both the absorption and transmission of distinct frequency NRR type harmonic vibrations, I have no idea what the fuck any of that means, have been observed to promote ethereal amplification. Can we, like, tone down the big words, please? My brain too small for big word. Please lower the fucking... The word is escaping me. Letter count. Low letter count, please. Make simple word, yes. Oh my god. The resultant neuroharmonic disturbance allows for a highly unique admittance of CPRS waves that, instead of radiating outward with a determinate factor of dispersal, instead resonate inward at a frequency so labored, my estimates place the rate of VRT decay at upwards of several centuries. Though I must admit I lack sufficient variance to complete a truly comprehensive graphical assignment. Or assessment. Yeah, thank you, Sid. While that explanation may elicit admiring nods from your professors at the academy, it will only earn you blank looks here. Take a deep breath and try again, this time in a language those of us without the echo might comprehend. Now, don't look so disappointed. My apologies, I merely thought... Warrior, not a scientist. Apologies will see us no nearer to an answer. A simpler explanation will. Simpler, right. Ether is not only the building blocks of all things material, but those immaterial as well. Thoughts, memories, feelings, one very will are all understood to be ethereal phenomena, and can be measured as such. Unlike most crystals, which can only emit elemental energies, Orosite... I missed that dialogue. Shit. Something important. I totally would have understood that anyway. Definitely 100%. Try again. Under appropriate conditions, a strong will or desire can become imprinted upon the Orosite and stored until fomentation, which at the time the desire becomes manifest. Fomentation? What my studious young friend is trying to say is that the Odious takes one's deepest fantasies and makes them reality. Yes. Yes, that is simpler. You may choose to think of it as a process akin to that of summoning a primal. There being one marked difference. Primal summoning requires a supplemental energy source, such as a horde of elementally charged crystals. Orosite, on the other hand, has the capacity to serve as its own source of power. We're saying something. I don't know. Knowing the Warrior of Light, definitely nothing profound. We know from the Durai papers that Argoth was never king of Ivalis. He was slain in battle during the War of the Lions. Yet the Argoth encountered during the recent expedition carried himself as if he had been crowned regent. I believe this was merely the aura sight in his possession realizing his desire to rule. I am informed that he uttered the same words over and over again for the duration of the confrontation which unfolded. If that is the case, it is possible that it was not actually Argoth who uttered them, but the aura sight itself. If the dry papers are accurate, Argoth was a weak and petty noble who believed that his blood entitled him to power. The aura sight took that belief and twisted it into the abomination the warrior light put to the sword. Then are you saying the crystal could prove a threat? The aura sight, Alma, and not necessarily. Rosma seemed to fare well enough. There is no record of the young regent being manipulated by the artifacts he gathered. In the hands of the just, the aura sight should prove harmless, even beneficial. But by the same token, wrong hands would be very bad. To paraphrase, it is not the weapon that kills, but the one who wields it. Now, where have I heard that? I was just gonna fucking say that. Oh yes, it was Emperor Galvus's justification for making the marvels of Magitech and applying them to the manufacture of arms. Where, after all, was the harm if it was allowed him to bring order to the 3 great continents? You draw an intriguing parallel, Master Garland. The properties of these crystals are so singular, I do begin to wonder if they, like Magitech, are products of science and not nature. That they were created by someone to... But who? What manner of person would be capable of such a feat? I mean, the Oligons... That would be the key one. If this civilization was as advanced as they seem to be, they could have done it. Like, we've got a couple ideas. I got a couple ideas on who it could be. Now, that is an interesting question, the answer to which I look forward to hearing. Regrettably, I have pressing matters to attend to elsewhere. Fear not, however, Makoto's insight will prove far more beneficial than anything I might accidentally contribute. Good day to you all. That's actually a really nice jacket. I wonder what jacket that is. What I don't understand is... if the Duma was imprinted with Argoth's deepest desires, then whose desires are rattling about inside the Odious? I had the selfsame question, and thus conducted a thorough inspection of the crystal upon my arrival. The results were... inconclusive. Traces of ethereal energy were present, but to all intents and purposes, the vessel was empty. Empty? But what of the voices I heard? Voices? I heard nothing of the sort. The only voices you heard, Alma, were in your stubborn head. Rasma, why won't you... Shall we speak of voices, then? What of yours, Alma? Our resident voice of dissent. You have done naught but question the wisdom of our research from the moment we left Garlemald. Would you put away your petty worries above our family's calling? No, I would never. You would never? Then why involve a gossip monger, a goody two-shoes, and this flying mole? Boogle? Please tell me you can see that. What the fuck is a Moogle doing here? How the fuck did you get here, buddy? Ah, a Moogle, yes. A Moogle! A decidedly dusty one at that. Might this be one of your acquaintances? What, because it's dusty? Look, I know I'm an adventurer, but really? Come on. I'm only dirty like 85% of the time. And it's mostly blood, not dust. Don't just stand there. Get rid of the thing. You're the liberator. Liberate this vessel of that pest. It's nothing like I've ever seen before. Can we keep it? Most intriguing. Is it alive? Am I interrupting? Oh, please do go on. My acceptance in your fine troops' ranks can wait until all have said their piece, Kupo. Guards, get this... Mont Blanc. The name's Mont Blanc. Denizen of Dalamascus Desert, seeker of thrills, adventurer extraordinaire. But you may call me Mont Blanc, Kupo. Dalamasca has long since been known as a melting pot for myriad cultures, where minor races such as the Sikh, the Bangna, and the Vira might live in relative harmony with Hur, Ellison, and others. Yet there's no record of a prominent Moogle population. Most likely because we are neither prominent nor populous. My people are nomadic by nature, ever drawn to the elusive frontier and the freedom she promises, Kupo. A Moogle? Of course I'm a Moogle, Kupo. You'd think the adorable wings and fluffy palm would have given it away. Now, about my admission to the majestic... I will allow no such thing. The Majestic is the Empire's premier theater company. We will not sully its good name by granting refuge to a fluttering ball of fur. And furthermore, how in the world did this abomination board the Prima Vista in the first place? Oh, you made him sad. It's a sentient being, and you just fucking insulted him for no fucking reason. It's not like he's a pet, like a curl. He's a fucking Moogle. By means of his wings, were I to guess. As for his admission to our company, I do not seem to recall race, creed, or allegiance on my list of prerequisites, do you? No, Father. Very well, then, Mont Blanc. What exactly is it? What is it exactly that calls you to our stage? Our stage. What else? The Zodiac Brave story, Kupo. Never before have I witnessed something so amazing, so moving. Sitting, well, technically hovering there in the audience as the story unfolded around me, I knew I was witnessing something special, something positively transcendental, Kupo. It was then that I realized I either had to be a part of it or go to my grave a bitter and broken Moogle. Wait. Was this realization before or after you swore you simply had to become the realm's greatest marauder, Kupo? Another one. How did you... Perhaps you'd have more success at running away if you didn't reveal your grand designs to every other fool you happened to meet, Kupo. Was it not but 2 score nights ago you took up the axe, Kupo? Now here you are professing your passion for the stage before carving even a single notch in your haft. Do you not remember, he who churns the butter goes the sweetest bread? But how is one to savor said buttered bread if his head is in the belly of a fearsome beast? You accuse me of giving up when I merely came to the realization that continuing would end in failure. Only through a change of course could I finally reach my final destination, Koopa. And what that destination is what, Mommer? Are you not sure it is Geomancer? Arithmetician? Templar? Do not bother answering, Koopa. We all know you will be singing a different tune come crow or cockcrow. That is where you are mistaken, Hurdy. I was destined to be a thespian. I can feel it in my fur. The role of Delita was made for me. Made for me, Koopa. Enough! The actors in our company trained at the Empire's finest institutes. They represent the pinnacle of the profession, not only in Garlemald, but across the entire world. A vagrant batmole like you could never hope to share a stage with such artists, let alone play the part of hero like Delita. You yourself admitted you were too craven to face a solitary beast. How do you imagine you would fare against a pack of theater critics? Any troupe would need proof of valor before it could even consider. Craven? Call me a cheat and call me a cur, but do not, sir, call me craven. I accept your challenge. Slay but one foul beast by my own hand, and the majestic theater company will accept me into its ranks, Koopa. Wait, I issued no such... You are all here witnesses, Koopa. When I return with the head of a terrible beast in my gore-stained hands, you will be honor-bound to welcome me, Montblanc the Mummer, into the fabled ranks of the majestic. Good day. Wonderful. What do we do now? What do we do? We do nothing! If that Batmole wishes to throw himself on the horns of a stampeding Zoe, I will not stand in his way. I believe the proper term of derogation is mole bat, and I should warn you, Moogles do not take kindly to those who use it. Why must you always put yourself above others, brother? Did you learn nothing from Argot's wretched example? Montblanc would have never set foot on this fool's errands had you not made the challenge. If anything befalls my brother, his blood will be on your hands. You're the only one among us capable of locating Montblanc and preventing disaster. On behalf of my brother, I beg your assistance. Yeah, I've got nothing better to do, I guess, while you're trying to figure out where we go next. My brother can be rather simple-minded when it comes to such matters. Thinking to impress the Warrior of Light and her companions, Montblanc would likely choose the scene of your recent exploits to prove his worth, meaning Ravenast, if I'm not mistaken. Pardon my language, but that Rams is really an incurable little prick, is he not? How dare he speak to his sister and the Moogle in that manner? I couldn't decide which was worse, the things he said or the way the principal sat back and let him say them. But I suppose it's none of our concern. For now, let's concentrate on the task at hand. Finding that Moogle before he does something we'll all regret. Let's say we start nearby. Pier 2, perhaps. Oh, yeah. Alright, Pier 2. Let me out. Thank you. Thank you. all the way over there. Okay, Rakuza district. Where's the closest Aether shard? There it is. Okay. Up the, this way. That's not the correct quest marker. Pier 2. Shiokaze Holstery. That's the one I need to go to. I knew it didn't make sense to go across the map for the pier because pier, is right here. The Falcon Porter tells us that he sent a traveling blacksmith away to Yanxia not a bell passed. And why would that be of interest to us, you ask? Because that said peddler of iron and steel was seen to be carrying a bag stuffed to the brim with, I quote, albino mole fur and purple bat wings. Mont Blanc. Not that we look like that, Kupo. The quickest route into Dalmasca is via the One River and its western tributaries. If Mont Blanc is bound for Rabanos, he will seek passage from the Glittering Basin. I guess we're going to Namai. I don't have flight in this map, so this map is going to be a pain in the ass. Wait a minute. Pretty sure that ferry docks was the ferry docks that, you know, attaches to the dome, to the, whatever it's called. The Doman place. And the Doman place, obviously, would have been faster, but it doesn't matter. I already spent the money to teleport here. I might as well just go from here. Hey, an Aether Current. How funny would it be if that's the last one I need to get flight? Probably, almost certainly not, but it's funny to think about. Yeah, because I've got a bunch of blue quests on this map I haven't done yet. Now the question is that all of the Aether Currents? No, there's one left. Probably. There might be one or two. I don't know for 100% certainty, but there can't be that many left. Okay, let's see. I'm really hoping I don't have to dedicate 2 whole streams to the remainder of the Alliance raid, by the way. I'm hoping I can finish this up by 2. In a perfect world, I'd finish it up by 1 and then have a little bit of time for myself before I have to start getting ready to go into work, but, you know, I'll take 2. fucking red chocobos are dropping meteors on me. Come on. Probably should have dropped Doton first, instead of doing all of my fucking mudras into the AoE, but it's fine. You good, Mont Blanc? What were you thinking, buddy? Mont Blanc, what were you thinking? Have you any idea what you put your brother through? He's been worried sick. Both Hurdy and Ramza were right all along. I am a failure. A flop. A failing, flapping, foppish failure, Kupo. How could I play the part of a hero if I cannot even ruffle the feathers of a single measly bird? The audience would see right through me like the spineless jellyfish I am. And now wait, Mont Blanc. Not everyone can be a hero. Not even most heroes. Yes, the bards sing of the man who deals the final blow, but what of his cadre of loyal companions? Do you think Delita united Ivalice on his own? Do you think the Warrior of Light here was alone when she liberated All Amigo? Not all wars are won on the front lines. But of course they are not. Every campaign needs its brilliant architect, the mastermind who moves the pieces across the board. I, Mont Blanc, can be that mastermind. That was quick. Let's not dwell on the details. The day is saved, and Mont Blanc has escaped sound scratch or singe to sow for it. We should return to the Prima Vista before our luck runs out. Okay. Back to the Prima Vista, which means back to Kugane. Okay. Alright, I need to go that way. Let me in, please. That was an abrupt cut from the music. Oh, well, we're walking straight into a cutscene. That makes more sense. Hello. Please, this ship is a place of peace. Release my sister, or you will answer to me. And the cat's away. Put that damnable thing down, Ramza. You're not helping matters. How the hell did you even get here? We have no quarrel with you or yours. We only seek aid in finding our leader, Bagamnon. You seek our help? You who threatened to kill my father? You who stole his work and made fools of us all? Never. Silence, Ramza. They have Ulma. We will hear what they have to say. As I said, we have no quarrel with you. We only did what was necessary to secure an audience. We surrender our weapons and offer your journal as an act of good faith. And to be fair, we had every reason to not trust you. You had a gun drawn. You kept the poor girl hostage. You fucking held this guy. You held Genomus at knife point literally like a couple hours ago. We have absolutely fucking zero reason to trust you motherfuckers. This is rather a lot to digest, but your claims do coincide with what we have learned about the Orosite. You're saying that Crystal did something to our captain? After being emptied of Argot's will, the Duma sought that of another to sate its appetite for ether. You're saying that Crystal ate our captain? Not his body, no. Only his soul. His soul? Tell me, what in your opinion was your leader's deepest desire? What was it that he longed for above all else in the world? Why waste your breaths reasoning with these lizards? They showed themselves for the beasts they are when they put a knife to your throat. First mulebats, now lizards. This one's tongue is pure poison. The boy can call us what he pleases. For our past failings, we deserve no better. Your failings? 30 summers have come and gone, and yet not a night goes by that I do not wake in the sweat at the memory. We were Fusilers in the Dalamascan army, stationed in the royal stronghold at Nalbina. Nalbina Fortress was reputed to be impenetrable. Its fall to the 4th Legion proved a turning point in the Imperial campaign, dealing a crushing blow to the Dalamascan morale and ultimately marking the beginning of the kingdom's end. Bagaman was our captain, and once it was clear that day would not be ours, Prince Rassler commanded the garrison at Nalbina, tasked him with one final mission. Our unit was to escort His Highness's twin sister, the Princess Ashela, away from the fortress and thence to safety. But things did not go as planned. I still remember the words she uttered as she lay dying in the captain's arms, but a stone's throw away from where the Garam Scythe waterway drains into the sea. Even as the fog of death descended upon her, she smiled and told us the very people who had failed her to survive. For as long as even a single Dalamascan stood, our nation would never truly perish. But it should not have been us who survived. By failing to protect our charge, we betrayed the princess and her memory, and brought shame upon our race. So yes, we are not but cold-blooded lizards, deserving of whatever scorn you deign to heap on us. I think we may safely assume a deep-seated hatred towards the invaders of his homeland, coupled with self-loathing born from a sense of powerlessness. The darkness that lurks in the heart of Bagamnon is little different from that which drove Argoth, the self-same emotions that were to nourish the Duma. Stop speaking in riddles, Charlian. She's saying your brave captain will eventually turn into a monster, or rather, more of one. Garlean lies. What they say is true. If we do not find Bagamnon and the Duma soon, none of us are safe, present and company included. Do you have any ideas where he might have gone? Any at all? Wait, look at this. Something has been added to the final page of my journal. Then the captain must have put it there. Only he had access to it until we found it in the pack he left behind, that is. Is this Dalamascan? Indeed, it is. It says Ridorana. The lighthouse? Why would he write that? And in the old man's journal, no less. Probably where he was headed. Duh. I don't know. There is a place on the Valnard Sea, far to the south of Rabernast, where the ocean tumbles into a gaping maw more than a malm across. The Ridorana Cataract. Legend would have us believe that it is the entrance to the Hell of Water. Many a scholar seeking to prove that otherwise has descended into the chasm, some even by airship, but not a one has returned. Well, time to prove that I'm just better than every one of those scientists and expeditioners that came before, as per always. I must admit to knowing little of Ridorana, save that which Lady Mikoto has shared with us. Before we expend valuable time and resources traveling to so remote a place, I must review my notes and see if there is any mention of the Abyss. We shall share our findings as soon as we learn aught of interest. You've learned aught of interest. I'm so glad they find things so quickly. It's almost like it would have taken, like, probably a real time, like a few months to get back to this, but, you know, this guy's just smart enough. He already has it all figured out. He just needed, like, 2 minutes to gather his thoughts, essentially. Our studies reveal that Ridorana is in the name of both a massive gap in the southern Valnard Sea and the lighthouse once manned by Royal Dalamascan Navy to prevent ships from succumbing to the cataract's currents. I stress once manned, as the tower has lain empty since its candlekeeps abandoned their post after the fall of Rabanast. But if Pharaoh Sirius offers any indication of what can befall a lighthouse in the absence of its caretakers... Yes, but the real question is how all this ties with the Evicilian legend. A cursory examination of the Zodiac Brave's story reveals no mention of a Ridorana. Yet it seemed foolish to assume that a name could not change in the centuries since the tale was writ. So I thought to cross-reference texts on modern Ilsabardian history with our own translations of the Durai papers. And after an exhaustive re-examination of my ancestors' notes, I discovered that there was not a single entry on Readerana. And while never mention of the Valnard Sea was abundant, I found no reference to whatsoever to any cataract or lighthouse within its waters. Ramza's discovery prompted me to examine the mystery from a different perspective. What if there was no mystery at all? What if, at the time of Delita's rise, the chasm did not yet exist? There is more, but only a visit to the lighthouse will enable us to confirm our theories with certainty. Time to go tear another place apart with 23 more people. Let's fucking go. You are not my quest giver. You are also not my quest giver. You stop, please. I'll zoom back in. Come on, please, Ramza. The Readerana lighthouse lies far from civilization. You would be wise to provision for the trip here in Hingashi. An adventure always comes, well, usually, but I am prepared right this moment. Of course. I like how that gil was basically just enough to fucking to cover the money I spent teleporting back and forth. And here I was thinking that the alligator folk or whatever their species is called would end up being the enemies of this little raid series, but clearly that might not be the case. Wow, that's quite the structure. Okay, that's huge. That isn't any ordinary fucking lighthouse. Who the fuck needs a lighthouse that big? It's a house with a light on it to show ships where the fuck they're going. Also, Moth, I appreciate you, but leave my screen. The one disadvantage to having an window air conditioning unit is the fact that the moths get in. Something is very wrong here. Mayhap it is best if we split our fellowship into two parties, one to delve into the tower's depths and one to observe from afar. As acting expedition subleader, I appoint you captain of the first. You may use the spyglass to aid in your search for the missing lizard. Damn it, brother, where are you? This place is fucking insane. Like, who needs a fucking lighthouse like this? In what world does this serve a reasonable purpose as a lighthouse? Not to mention, I can't imagine it's easy to navigate. The whole place has got to be a fucking maze. Also, what's with all the giant fucking cogwheels that have fallen everywhere? This location appears to offer an adequate view. Climb up to the top and scan the area for any signs of begammon. I'm pointed in this... Hold on, I did not mean to click. No, that's Ramza. I was pointed in this... Hello. That was easy. You found him? Let me see. He needs our help. Probably have just been faster to slide down, but I guess we're gonna walk all the way down manually, that big structure. I'm sure he won't move any closer to the building. Prince Rustler, Princess Sheila, I know you cannot forgive me. Nor should you. It is my fault. I could not save you. I could not save anyone. Anyone but myself. I am so sorry. Bagaman, wait. Traitors, have you no pride? You treat with the very men who laid waste to our homeland. You are mistaken, brother. There are no Imperials here. We've come to help. Oh yeah, your mind's like totally fucked, aren't you? And let me guess, I'm taking the visage of the... I probably am taking the visage of whoever fucking murdered the princess, except you don't even know that the princess is dead anymore. Your soul's really fucked, dude. You might want to, you know, and we're going to fight. I know there's literally nothing I can say to change that. That's just going to happen. Whatever. All right. I just should keep my breath. I know what I see. My own kin sided with the enemy. How dare you stay my audience with the princess? The Duma. Mont Blanc? It was him, Kupo. It's showing him what he wants to see. Witch. Murderess. That's not good. Fuck. Gunfire? Bagamnon! Wow. The Warrior of Light finally decided to do something in a cutscene. Fantastic. Good job, Warrior of Light. Really learning from the last couple times. Like when we just let fucking Asahi, like, kick the shit out of fucking what's-her-face for so fucking long without doing anything. So this is the end. Probably not quite. Recite the words, satisfy the covenant, relinquish thy soul unto me, and be granted that which thou desirest most in all the world. Sword in hand, a warrior clutches stone to breast. Look at me, brother, look at me. In sword etched he his fading memories. Don't you die, not yet. In stone his tempered skill, We promised we'd all go together when our time came. You can't leave us here. By sword tested, by stone revealed. Yeah, that's not good. That light, where have I seen it before? Oh no. Buddy, you good? Oh, you definitely, you don't look that good. It's, quite the arm you got there, buddy. You might want to drop that crystal. You know, I was just complimenting you, Warrior of Light, for doing something in a cutscene, and you didn't try to do anything to stop that series of events from happening, so I take back all of my praise. You don't deserve it. Whatever you're doing, you need to leave the lighthouse right away. Right away, do you hear? It is as we feared, then. Begamnen's soul is lost. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have followed us into a thing where you put yourself at risk. Granted, there was no way we could have known he would do that or would be that affected by the crystal, but still. Stay, you know, back from now on, everybody. How about that? Much as I wish it were otherwise, I fear Begamnen is beyond saving. Yet we cannot suffer what is left of him to become a distraction. Father, now is not the time to abandon. Is now not the time to abandon this quest? We're meddling with forces beyond. Enough, Alma. We adults are talking. While the Warrior of Light was searching for the lizard, I inspected an area of exposed foundation at the base of the lighthouse. And you are right, Father. The lighthouse is built squarely atop the ruins of what can only be the clockwork city of Goog. That would explain all the giant cogwheels. The what-work city of who? According to the According to the Zodiac Brave story, the clockwork city of Goog was a metallic metropolis wherein airships, automata, and other technological marvels of the age were first conceived. Little is said about its location, however, save it that it is far away. While the dry papers do not say a great deal more, they do mention that the land upon which the legendary city was built was severely limited, an inconvenience that forced its inhabitants to build up rather than out. Which led me to ask myself, what if the reason the land was limited was because the land in question was an island? But that would still not explain the omission of the cataract. It is inconceivable that the authors would neglect to mention so prominent a landmark had it existed. And then I found it, a lone passage regarding Goog's fall. While the particulars were missing, it appears the city was abandoned after an explosion left half of it in ruin. I believe this explosion may have undermined a portion of the seabed. It need only have been a small area at first, one that could have gone unnoticed during the Exodus. As time passed, however, the waters would have continued to wear away at the rock, slowly widening the gap until what we have lies beneath us today. This would explain why there is no mention of Rita Rana prior to the present era. Come, Father, will you not tell them the rest? Of the possibility that we Garleans are descendant in part from the displaced citizens of Goog. It would explain how the Empire was able to forge its armies of iron even before the discovery of application of Allagan technology. It may also explain why the legend of Ivalice has resonated with our people for centuries, despite the fact that the Lost Kingdom was, as far as we can tell, in quite a different corner of the world. An interesting, if somewhat ambitious theory, but to return to your original claim, it is your belief that the Redirana lighthouse stands atop what is left of that necklace. Where did you get it, girl? This. It was my mother's. Your mother's? It was my late wife's most cherished possession. Why do you ask? Bagamnan had a talisman he would wear beneath his jerkin. He refused to take it off, even when bathing. He said it was special. I only saw it a few times, but it looked exactly like the one your daughter wears. Which would give credence to the theory that, no, it's clear, it gives credence to the theory that Garleans descended from ancient Ivalice. Because they're similar necklaces, they probably would have produced more than a single necklace, identical looking necklace. And if they have it, and this guy, and Bagamnan, who was part of Dalamasca, you know, at the lighthouse or whatever, however it went, I don't remember specifically, but it would leave credence to the theory, I think. And, what are you implying, Lizard? That my sister stole it, or my late mother? Neither! I spoke of their similarity, that is all. Can you believe the nerve of this boy? Enough, Ramza. Our guests are merely concerned for the well-being of their kin. But what of our kin? What of them, Ramza? Do you imagine our kin to be better than theirs in some way, or anyone else's for that matter? I apologize, Father. We have but one purpose, son, and that is to prove the existence of Ivalice and clear our family's name. Do not allow anger or hate to lead you from that path. Now, we have a lost city to explore. Yes, we do. The Redirana Lighthouse. Now, unfortunately, I'm not playing at peak time, so I hope this queue isn't too long. Again, I really would like to finish this up tonight and not have to dedicate like a 30-minute stream to finish it fucking next week. Oh, hold on. Before we do that, I need to have my gear repaired. Let's see. Airship lift? Gotta go back to Hingashi. Is this not the way I'm going? Nope, it is. This door just opens when I walk near it, doesn't it? Yep. God, you know, it's crazy to think that we've almost reached the 2-year anniversary of me starting this game. It's horrifying to think about, really, that I've been playing this game for almost 2 full years, and I'm still finishing up expansion 2. Why did I do that? I am an idiot. God damn it. Let me out. Okay, where's the nearest repair? Repairs. Do I have any equipment that needs repairing and anything else? Yeah, we'll take that. Repair that. Repair all that. Good. Now we can queue. Average wait time, 19 minutes? Oh, God. I'm gonna be here all fucking night. Oh, fuck. Alright, well, that's fine. I have things I can do in the meantime. Let's finish getting Aether Currents. Let's see. I was working on the Ruby Sea. And I don't remember how close I was. I think I was just doing quests. Yeah, and I think the rest of the blue quests were down there. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's a blue quest down there, and there's a blue quest in there. Palace of Lost Souls might not be a, I almost made a mistake and went up. That's an underwater settlement. That might not be an Aether Current quest. That might be an optional dungeon, but I'm not entirely 100% sure. Although most of the optional dungeons that I've seen in both Heavensward and Stormblood are max level required. So probably not, but it's a blue quest regardless. It could have another reward other than an Aether Current. The question is, have I gathered... I haven't checked the Aether Currents underwater. Okay, none. I'm really hoping this queue doesn't actually take 20 minutes, because if this queue takes 20 minutes, the next one will probably take an equal amount of time, and I have to be off at 2 regardless. I'll probably just take the Savage Might materia. Shiosai. I like how we literally only come to this place once in the entirety of Stormblood, and then you pretty much leave immediately. And you are? Lady Kuranai, what brings you here? I'll watch the cutscene. Mainly because if I'm in a cutscene, there's about like an 80% chance that the queue will pop in the middle of said cutscene. So it's worth watching these just for the off chance that the game will like to fuck me over. What? My lady, you of all people must realize how incredibly dangerous it was of you to entrust another with our secrets. Much less a newcomer whose intentions we know not of. What other choice did I have? When the seal breaks, we will be forced to drown in the palace and all souls within. Would you sooner have me sacrifice my sister and my people than turning to outside help? And you think that this woman has some hidden power capable of delivering Suino Sato from untold disaster? I realize it's not in our nature to ask for the assistance, but, whether like it or not, there is little else we can do. No outcome could be worse than losing the Ruby Princess. Even you must realize we only stand to gain by requesting this woman's aid. You have the right of it. Very well, I will give your friend until the next high tide to rescue the princess. If she fails, however, I will destroy the dome and atone for the deed with my life. Remember, my lady, should it come to this, you shall be the one to inherit the throne. Something tells me this might be an optional dungeon, because this is setting up a lot for simply. This is setting up a lot for not an optional dungeon. Here, take this scroll. It will permit you to pass into the Shisui of Violet Tides. I presume you are aware of where it is located. Not to worry, I shall show her there. The palace lies just beyond the turquoise trench. Before we leave, however, there is one last thing I must share with you. I was not entirely truthful in everything I've told you. Well, I skipped your initial dialogue thinking it was going to be a really quick Aether Current quest and not an actual, like, cutscene and then probably a dungeon and things, so... You might as well reveal it now, because I wasn't paying attention before. It is nothing that affects our current predicament, but it is nevertheless a lie I mean to set straight once this is all over. Forgive me, it was something I could tell you now, I would. Oh yeah, look at that, dungeon right there. Well, I can't complete this map, but I can at least go over there and grab the other blue quest and do that in the interim. I understand why there's essentially a loading screen between underwater zones and not, but it's annoying. It would be so much cooler if I could just jump straight into the fucking water portal. But this is a lot of maps, so I get why. Also, I guess this could also theoretically be another optional dungeon. Although I don't see another spot for a dungeon on this map. Not that it necessarily has to be on this map, I guess, but... I don't know why I closed the map. I need it up. Well, I found a healer. It's only been 7 minutes and I've found one more party member. Of course, the reason the queue times might be so long is I had trouble logging in before the stream because there's apparently been some DDoS attacks again at the fucking North American servers. Which, surprisingly, have never affected a stream before, but if people can't log in, the queues are going to be longer. I will say, if this queue takes until 12:30, I'll end the stream early and see if I can get on maybe tomorrow afternoon or Saturday afternoon. Just, you know, finish up. Purely because if I'm waiting fucking 40 minutes for a queue, it's not even fucking worth waiting for the next one. Okay. You're not a cutscene. You're a simple, basic-ass quest. Hopefully. Okay. Which does mean I can't complete this map for a bit. We're gonna have to do this optional dungeon on, like, a small stream day or something. If I have to dedicate a stream next week to finishing this up, I might just do this at the same time. Why not? I'm still really hoping this queue will pop in, like, 2 minutes, but I'm not holding my breath. Karuga. I gotta swim back. My. All right. This is not the correct direction. I could have stayed on the ground. I did not need to take that ladder or take that staircase. Are those level 59 enemies? Super weird seeing level 59 enemies in a level 60 plus area, but yeah, it's probably just because those are Fate enemies. And Fates always have like a level variance of like 6 or something. Alright, where's this deserter so I can kick the shit out of him for a bit? There you are. I would have been a fool to go with you. I am so close to the Red Kojin settlement, so close to freedom. Well, that was easy. Didn't take much effort at all. Also, that was I don't know if that's, like, optimal rotation-wise, but that felt clean. You know, proccing a 3-button use for the trick attack damage up, then doing Tenchi Chin to deal a lot of damage, then using Mesui to eat that into more damage, because trick attack's not up yet. I have no idea if that's even remotely fucking optimal, or even if it's good. To be honest with you, I haven't looked too much into Ninja's rotation. I just kind of, you know, use my melee attacks where they are, you know, when I'm trying to fill, and then fucking trying my best to just pop mantras when I can. Although, I'll be honest with you, not really feeling... I'm glad I played this job through, Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It's back there! I'm glad I played Ninja for this expansion because it thematically fit. And it was fun to play, but I don't think it's my job. It's not... I'm not really the hugest fan of this job. I'm actually really excited to play Reaper for Shadowbringers. And then I still have yet to pick out what I'm playing for the last 2 expansions. Of course, if the rumors after the few, like, press conferences and things are anything to go off of, there will be another expansion release before I even get to Endwalker. And the healer left. Alright. As I said, we'll continue doing some side stuff, doing some, getting Aether Currents, but as I said, if this queue doesn't pop by 12:30, I'm just gonna call it a night, assume that queue times are absurd because of the DDoS attacks today, and, you know, just get off. I have work in less than 4 hours anyway. There's really, I wouldn't have been able to stay up much longer than that. It's just a kind of a pain. Where do I want to go next? Yanxia? This is probably the smartest choice. I know there's probably one more ground Aether Current and a few probable quest Aether Currents. Alright, let's see. Something tells me that since this quest is offering me more than just an Aether Current, that this is also an optional dungeon. Lupin looters, please search along the one river. No, there's more blue quests. Nope. Yep. Nope. That's probably a Alliance quest or something. This is, I don't know. We'll see. One more to check up here. Oh, not up here. Down here. That is a lot of locations. I'm sure whatever the context is for this quest that I didn't read about dropping smelly liquid in places means something. Probably should have just read the dialogue since I have to wait anyway, but bit late for that now. Also, I know I'm going the opposite of the way I need to go, but I figure those three. And then you've got that one, and I think I need to go around to get up there anyway. So I think if I'm correct, there's a method to my madness, even if it ends up being completely not working out. Also, what's up, YouTube viewership? How's it going, everybody? I don't generally pay attention to my monitor here, but I see quite a lot of you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Normally I don't stream. Usually I'd be not streaming at this time, but work's a bitch. Alright. Drop the last of the smelly shit off, and then definitely not make this queue, given that we lost our healer, found a second DPS, and now we're almost approaching the average wait time. Okay. I'm gonna do something... Well, no, I'm not gonna do that. That would be dumb. My idea was to maybe try queuing for something else and seeing if the wait time was still long, but that would mean I'd have to stop this queue, which would mean I could then... It could cuss before 12:30. It could. I doubt it, but it could. Yeah, one more. That's that done. One thing I will say about the whole not sure what I'm playing for the next couple expansions is I'm going to be doing DPS through all of them. Me and a friend have started an alt where I'm playing exclusively healer. We've gone through all of base Heavensward, we've completed Alexander, and I've done that entirely as healer, which was fun. I'm not the greatest healer in the world, I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty sure when we were doing the Aetherochemical research facility, I probably caused us to wipe just from not dodging mechanics in time, like, twice, I think. But, and I'm choosing not to play tank either, because we've decided that because eventually we will catch up to where I am on stream, because we're making a lot more progress, because I can't stream as often as we can play. So we plan on swapping roles once we catch up. So we're still playing and just, not getting any further, because I still would like to go through most of this blind. I've enjoyed streaming this for 2 years, or almost 2 years. Why are there arrowheads? Again, it would probably be worth it if I read the dialogue to get context. God, I'm an idiot. Literally said it myself and still didn't do it. It could be something like... Could be a lot of things. It could just be leftovers. They could be doing it to sort, like... Because, you can, nail copper nails into, roots and shit to kill plants. So, Namai is actually a local term for the arrowhead. Pests. Keep them in this bird cage. Once they have all flown from the cage, clap your hands. I have trained them to recognize that as their signal to begin working. All right. Emotes. It would just probably be faster to do /clap, wouldn't it? I don't think that's what he meant by clap. I think he meant to just do one loud clap, but that works too. Whacking Day. I might as well do those quest objectives while I'm over here, because I'm going to have to go back to Namai to turn it in anyway. Yep, now the average wait time is up to 22 minutes. That, I did not mean to jam that twice. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm bothering doing all the really expansive Mudra shit. These things are way under-leveled for me. Really expected it to die in the first set of knives. Okay. Ajita, yep, that's up there. We are good. I think that's everything. Any other quest markers? Yes. Wolves and Weeds. Can I just narrowly climb this cliff up? Yep. Alright. I need just to kind of feel bad, because, no cool content. Just running around doing random shit, hoping that this queue pops in the next 13 minutes. Alright. Yeah, I'm out here to find you. Grandfather was looking for me, but I cannot go back just yet. When some nasty lupins stole them right out of my hands. Would you ask the lupin if they would give me back my plants? You'll find them on the other side of the river. Okay, I don't know why the lupin would just steal your plants. Unless it's, you know, a certain type. Certain types of plants I could see. I was about to make a catnip joke, but lupin are wolves, more canine than cat, or than feline. Yeah, what did you do in looting? Does that shattered vase have any value to you? You looking for some cool stuff in there? This whole area belongs to us, including any plants that may happen to be plucked by a child of man. You really were good. You really took mugworts from him. Like, I get your whole thing. Like, okay, yeah, it's your land, but it's a fucking mugwort, alright? It's not like it's worth that much. You couldn't have just let the kid have his weird plant? Well, kid, here's your mugwort back, I guess. Not really sure why it was so important you've stayed out here for this long waiting for somebody to come by. Yeah, well, I got them to return the mugworts by violently assaulting them, but yes, same difference. Making them give it back, violent assault, same basic concept, right? I was trying to collect plants to make some medicine. I read about it in one of my grandfather's botanici? I would have, unless that's just a word that's, you know, because he's a kid, I would have thought botany book. There's so many sick people in the village, I just wanted to help. There is one more thing I need for the medicine. Waterweed. I tried to fish some out of the river earlier with a pole, but didn't have much luck. Could you get some for me? Yeah, sure, why not? It's not like I have anything better to do. Okay. Bob, I actually fucking remembered the key to actually swim. Alright, game, you got 10 more minutes. That's all I'm giving you before I abandon this queue for the evening. I figured the DDoSes wouldn't really affect us, affect the stream, mainly due to the fact that, yeah, it took me a while to get the launcher to cooperate, but once I got into the game, everything loaded fine, and I'm not experiencing any latency. But then again, if people were getting booted, probably people just putting the game down for the evening, that kind of thing. This is already not exactly peak time. Yep, you go back to your grandpa. Speaking of, while I'm on my way back to the northwest. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know exactly what Aether Current this is. I still don't know how to get this fucking thing. To the west. So due west. Yeah, I am almost certain I know what Aether Current this is. And I still don't think I know how to reach it. I have an idea, though. If I go up here to fly my pretties, turn that in, I should be able to take this. Should be able to jump down to, or not jump down, but go on this path. And then I think it's up on this rock. Granted, that is a jump I'm not sure I can make, but it's worth a shot. It's just gonna be a pain in the ass if it is there and I miss the jump the first time and I have to go all the way the fuck back around. I'll take the materia. Forgot how to get up even into that area. Guess up here, over through here. Your birds are working. Then I go back and turn that in, but before we do that, because I'm almost certain if I do have to jump this, I will fuck this up at least once. I'm nothing if not consistent with how bad I am at games. Okay, so the Aether Current's not there, which means it's probably up here on the cliff somewhere. Unless I hear it. God damn it. It was right fucking here the whole time. I've been up here too. That's what I get for when I could play this game on my off time, not paying attention to the audio and just fucking listening to podcasts and shit. Is I don't hear the Aether Current noise because it's really quiet. Still nobody but me in this queue. Yeah. More materia. 2 more quests to turn in. This guy's down here. Okay. Last one to turn in, and we should have flight. I didn't check my Aether Compass to make sure there wasn't another one sitting. Oh, there is another one sitting around. I just kind of assumed that was the it's fine. Lets me do something for these last 5 minutes. And I'm really not going to be happy if this queue literally pops like a 12:30 or 12 fucking 29 as I am just about to give up. Alright. Where was this thing? South, right? Yep. Due south. Quite a bit to the south, but should hopefully not take that long. Okay. Oh, let's check how close. I closed it. Menu was still open. 681, still due south. So somewhere around here-ish. Given it was 1,000 when I checked up there. Still due south, so still on the right track. Yeah, I think my intuition is right. Oh my god, it's in... I swear to god, if it's in the castrum, and I walked past it when we did this fucking story quest, that's 100% what I did, didn't I? Where's the noise? 170, more yams. It's up here. Is it hiding behind the big gate, or hiding behind one of the pillars or something? Oh my god. Okay, I didn't walk past it. I just didn't come out far enough into the camp. Oh, that makes that... that's frustrating. And Yanxia Freebird. I will give the game the 2 minutes to maybe give me this queue by flying around and unlocking the rest of the map. But I'm not holding my breath, given that nobody else is. Our formed party is me. Until I got real close to these things, I didn't realize how fucking massive these gates are. Like, was this really necessary? How the fuck do you even build something this size? Oh, I'm not going the right way. That's the edge of the map. Still no dice on the queue. I'm not going to withdraw once we hit 12:30. I'm going to let the queue continue until I've mapped out the rest of this map. In all likelihood, it's going to make zero fucking difference, but what can you do? Good. Last section. I'm honestly surprised I didn't hit that last section randomly just wandering through the ruins down here, but I obviously don't just find Aether Currents while I wander either. So I'm not... Should I really be surprised? All right. Well, that's kind of disappointing because I was really hoping I'd just be able to finish up this series of Alliance raids tonight so we could start Shadowbringers next week. But clearly, the game isn't... the game and its servers are not going to be kind to me tonight. So unfortunately, as much as I hate to do this with less than 2 hours... I'm going to have to call it for the night, because I don't have... I've only got... 1:30 is about when I wanted to be off anyway, and I do have work in a couple hours. I'm not exactly happy that I'm opening today, but what can you do? Regardless, thanks everybody so much for watching if you still are. I do apologize about the fact that nothing really interesting happened on stream. Hopefully next time the servers will be nicer and I won't have to cut things early just because I can't find a queue. But regardless, if you enjoyed somehow through my meandering banter, and want to catch more, the easiest way to do so is hit the buttons on your respective platforms, follow on Twitch, subscribe, the bell, the like on YouTube, join the Discord that's in descriptions for notifications for when I go live and my weekly schedules. But regardless, I guess that's where I'm calling it for the night. I don't feel good about it, but clearly the game is not going to be nice. So, whatever. Let the servers fix themselves over the next 24 hours. I'll see if I can get on maybe Saturday afternoon when I've got some free time and try to finish it up then so I don't have to dedicate a whole, like, half stream or full stream next week to do it. But regardless, I hope everybody enjoyed, and have a good night. Bye-bye.